What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full clear body ability team. Today we're going to go over a bit of a niche ability, clear body. So clear body basically prevents your stats from getting dropped. There are a couple of other cool little things you can look at here. I've left a little description there, and some of them I actually got to cover in today's video, which is really cool. I've got a runner theme teams for you all right up to Legend ZA, so tons of them coming almost every day. So I hope you enjoy that. If you want me to do your theme team, you got a cool idea, put it below in the comment section of the video. I like to read those, maybe something I haven't done before. And if you want to see my videos more often in the subscriptions and stuff, drop that like button. All right, first battle here we got an apple pie, and it didn't fall into the sky because my explosion didn't faint it. Now this is a iron defense Appleton, and I think I would have got pretty close to actually fainting that. My regular up was a choice banded set. We had super power, drain punch, rock blast, and explosion, max health and max attack, Adam and nature, and I had terror type fighting. I'm going to bring in my Tentacruel now, which was a special attacking set. So we got Giga Drain, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Terror Blast, Ground, Expert Belt as the item, and of course with Clear Body. Now we've got it's a family feud. I don't know how that how did that live with the Expert Belt Ice Beam? What? I have no idea how Tentacruel, how did that live? I know it's got a big special defensive stat, but that was Expert Belt and Ice Beam. I don't know, like someone got to do the calcs on that one. I'm really confused how that lived, because it couldn't have been an Assault Vest either. So out goes Tentacruel, put my Tentacruel to sleep there, and Excalibur is going to slip in. Now, it's probably going to set up Dragon Dances here, so I'm thinking, do I stay in? Do I just let it faint me? You know, is this the end already? Excalibur is going to go for a Sword Dance here. Now, this team was very weak to ground type moves. So I had multiple players just leave with guard chop and press the A button so many times, right? So it was a difficult team because they interesting enough, they shared a lot of common ground weakness, except for like one Pokemon on my team. So Tentacruel is actually going to be able to wake up here and get an Ice Beam off, which does, you know, incredible amounts of damage there. Excalibur's really scared, and it's going to go for Icicle Sphere. So that's not very effective, but since it does have the Sword Dance up and it obviously has loaded dice, it's going to be able to feint my Tentacruel. Now, the difference between Sword Dance, Excalibur, and Dragon Dance, Excalibur is pretty big, because Excalibur can still be outsped if it does use Sword Dance. So we're going to bring in Metagross. We got the PIMPNITE special set here. We got Meteor Beam, Psychic, and we got Steel Beam and Grass Knot. Power Herb as the item, and I actually had some pretty good battles with this special Metagross. You know, many people were taken by surprise. So firing out a laser there, and Excalibur is going to get destroyed. So that's awesome. With Metagross's special attack, it's got base 95, so after a +1, it's pretty strong. Max special attack and max speed, Timid Nature, and Terror Rock. Alright, in comes Flutter Lame, so I can use a Steel Beam against this. So I was thinking, are you going to go for Shadow Ball? Are you going to go for Mystical Fire? I'm going to go for a Terror here, because I absolutely need to take this Pokemon out. It's very threatening, and I thought, alright, it's going to do a lot of damage here. Should take it out. So here comes the Shadow Ball from Flutter Lane. That does obviously a lot of my health, because I am running more of a sweeping set. Steel Beam absolutely destroys it. Sadly, my Metagross is going to faint due to the recall there. I was going to put Flash Cannon on there, but I thought Steel Beam could be a little bit more fun, you know. A little bit more base power. So bye-bye Flutter Lane. I'm not sad to see you go. Next Pokemon here we got is going to be Toxapex. Now, this was really annoying. So my next set here, we got is Dragapult. So Dragapult is a fully special set. And what it is, it's Stellar as the Terra. So we got Hydro Pump, Fire Blast, Thunder, and Draco Meteor. Max health and max special attack, Modest Nature with the Blunder policy. So, you know, since it had such, I deliberately gave it all low accuracy moves, and I thought it'd be fun to try and use Stellar with it. Now, Toxapex obviously is going to poison me, and my best bet here was to land Thunder on it. The problem about Thunder is it is kind of inaccurate, so I thought maybe I could get Carbink to do some damage to it, and I knew they'd obviously have Baneful Bunker as well. Now, Carbink was a sweeping set. We got Endure Weakness Policy, Rock Polish, Flail, and Stone Edge. Quite a lot of these sets, actually, I'll say, with Clear Body are actually worse off. There's really, like, Clear Body doesn't really benefit too many Pokemon. Like, generally, they've got a better, you know, a better ability to go for. So, like, say something like Carbink, Sturdy is going to be better most times on Carbink, in my opinion. Something like Tentacruel, well, just, you know, Clear Body's not too bad there if you are running like a physical set. You know, it's got other abilities like Liquid Ooze and Rain Dish as well, so it's not too bad on Tentacruel. Regirock, I would say Sturdy's probably better on Regirock in my opinion. Anyway, so I'm really trying to get around this Toxapex at the moment. They were like just going full stall mode here because they knew once Toxapex was gone, you know, they were going to have a very, very hard time against my team here. But they were stalling and stalling and stalling. Like also they were literally taking almost like 30 seconds to make their move as well. You know, just pressing Baneful Bunker. Quality damage there with the Thunder from down under. And of course, they're going to go for Recover right away. You know, they totally surprised me and stuff. They've also got the Black Sludge as the item too. So I'm thinking, all right, the only way to get around this is to crit them with Thunder. That's gonna have to be pretty lucky, or hit them with Thunder, faint, and then bring in another Pokemon to finish them off. But it's gonna have to be a pretty hard hit to take out Toxapex, you know. But yeah, that was my predicament I was in at the moment, because of course with my my earlier Metagross, I went for Terra Rock. If I had Stellar, then I would have been able to take out the Toxapex. Thunder would have, definitely one-shot it for sure with that, initial Stellar boost. So go for Thunder again. Thank goodness it didn't miss. It's doing really, really great damage. Unfortunately, Toxapex is not going to faint to it. No crit. So it did crit me, though. And actually, that might... I don't know if that's regenerate. I feel like their set's a regenerator set, not a merciless set, but I could be wrong about that. So Dragapult is going to faint here. I was like, oh, that's actually quite good. Because now, I mean, sure, they could go Baneful Bunker the next turn, but I can actually take them out, hopefully. So bringing in Diancie here. This is a Trick Room Diamond Storm Body Press set with Skill Swap. What I wanted to do with Skill Swap, I wanted to try and give some other Pokemon Clear Body as well. I thought it'd be kind of fun. So obviously they're going to go for Snorful Bunker there. I'm going to be able to get the Diamond Storm off, but obviously it's going to be blocked this turn. Now, this EV spread was definitely, it was max attack. So we have max health and max attack Brave Nature. And I've got, this is a really funny set. I put Clear Amulet on there as well, because Clear Amulet and Clear Body are virtually the same kind of thing. So I thought, if I give away skill swap Clear Body, I'll still have Clear Body with Clear Amulet. See what I did there, right? All right, so that's the end of Scummapex, finally. In comes Toedscruel, which I have no idea how it even lived any attack at all. So I thought, I'll just go for Diamond Sword. Power Whip actually misses there. They were running a physical set. That's pretty cool. I wish I would have lived that for sure. This has got a lot of defense. It's got like 150 base defense, but Toedscruel is down there. So we're down to one more Pokemon here. The Paldea champion, which of course is Gengar. Now, Gengar, I was actually worried. I'm like, what if I go for Diamond Storm, right? And they live, and then Curse Body activates. I'll be cooked, right? So I got to go for skill swaps. I was like, this is pretty cool, right? So I'll set up the Trick Room first, because my last two Pokemon, the Carbink isn't very fast, and Carbink only has Stone Edge to hit Gengar with. So I was like, I'll go for skill swap, right? For those, Curse Body reasons. So now Diancie has got Curse Body, Gengar's got Clear Body, and I can land my attacks on it. So they've got Venoshock, so that tells me it was a combination with the Toxapex and with Venoshock. So as I suspected, the Gengar did live there, and they're going to Encore me. So they obviously thought I'd try and go for Skill Swap again, and they tried to Encore me into that. However, since I have the Trick Room up, I did go first, and Diamond Storm can take out the Gengar there. And that is the end of the first battle. A pretty close one, actually. I still don't know how that Toedscruel even lived that. I have no idea at all. I really don't. All right, this battle was this is insane, right? All right, this is another random battle. This one's Cronios, and we've got a Galvantula lead here. So I was pretty excited to see a Galvantula lead for once, because if you've got the clear body ability, clear body actually ignores that, so you won't have the speed drop, which is really cool. So Carbink, I thought I'll try and set up the Rock Polish here, and then they swapped out the Galvantula. So I was like, all right, maybe they're expecting a rock move or something, and they went into Landorus. So Landorus has got the Intimidate, and Clear Body is going to stop that, which is really cool. But the fun did not end here. Like, you guys are not going to like believe what happened, right? So I swapped out my Carbink here. I thought, oh, I've actually got a pretty good idea. If I go into Tentacruel, I'm hoping they're going to use Stealth Rock instead of Earthquake, and we went for the Stealth Rock there. So I've got Ice Beam on there. So I thought, well, Ice Beam's going to be useful. I should be able to take them out, you know, in one shot there, unless they went for a Terra, or they expected a Water type move or something like that. So we've got the swap out there. They probably smelled a rat, you know, like a water move, and they went into Galvantula. So I thought, all right, this is okay, because what I can do, I can go for the Terra Ground, and if they do use Thunder, which they're or Volt Switch, which they most likely are going to use there, I can, you know, finish them off there, which is going to be good. It's always a very good thing. Like Water Pokemon and Terra Ground is always really, really good because they've got such little weakness. So Thunder from Down Under is going to hit the rocks, and we've got a Hydro Pump taking out Galvantula. So that's a good start there. Very, very good start. If you notice too, Tentacruel was not affected by the Sticky Web. Next Pokemon is Landorus. So I was wondering if this will outspeed me or not. I know you them with Clear Body again. And we've got Ice Beam here. So I'm just going to go for Ice Beam. I actually outsped them and I took them out. So that was great. That's 2 Pokemon down here. So we are getting a little mini Tentacruel sweep at the moment, which is kind of nice. Now, the next Pokemon to come in is Hydrap. I thought, ooh, I can Ice Beam this. And Super Sweet Syrup actually gets blocked by Clear Body, which is awesome. Like, there's so many Clear Body activations, which is crazy. So I've got Ice Beam. I thought, are they going to is this bait for Terra Steel or something? I just went Ice Beam here and it took them out. So that's 3 Pokemon down. This team's actually quite weak to, like, you know, ice moves here. So 3 Pokemon are down. Next Pokemon's going to be Tinkaton. So Tinkaton, I can hit with Terra Ground or Hydro Pump. I went for Hydro Pump, so I figured both attacks, you know, probably wouldn't kill it. This was interesting because this Tinkaton had Mold Breaker. And see, that's one of the few instances that can get around, you know, around my ability Clear Body. So that's a special Tinkaton with Metal Sound. And I'm going to be able to, I'll give them props to that. And Tinkaton's going to feint there to the Terra Ground there. So obviously Mold Breaker can get around the Clear Body. So there are exceptions like that. Next Pokemon is Overquill here. And Overquill and Intimidate as well. There was so many activations in this battle for Clear Body. And this is a Terra, actually this team's quite weak to Ice and Ground. So Overquill's going to get one shot of there, which is awesome. And I think something snapped inside of them as well as their switch. So that's the end of the battle. A salty rage quit. I think they were sick of seeing Clear Body, to be honest. Let's get some likes on the video, people. That was awesome. Let's get on to battle number 3. But that was really cool. I got to show off quite a lot of interesting things there with the Clear Body ability. Not that there's too many of them. Alright, so we have a Grimmsnarl lead here. This is a very competitive team, but this random person was running. Now, in the team preview, I thought they're going to leave with Grimmsnarl. And if I'd leave with Regirock, it'll bait out or Taunt if they've got Taunt, right? So that went pretty much exactly like I predicted in the team preview there before the battle started. So great, you know, starting turn there. They could have gone Reflect too, sure, but I felt like if they had Taunt, there was a good chance they would go for it, expecting me to use the Stealth Drop. All right, in comes Clodsire here. Now, I was hoping Carbink could do some good damage here with Flail, but I needed him to go for Earthquake first. I need to bait out that Earthquake and get the weakness policy. So, first things first, I went for Rock Polish, and they're going to go for Toxic instead. I was like, bugger. I was hoping they'd just go for Earthquake. That's a bit of a shame. Now, mostly, you know, these weakness policy sets, a lot of them do work well with Sturdy, so I didn't have Sturdy at the moment, but Carbink does have pretty good defense, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for Rock Polish here. I'm going to hopefully get hit by an attacking move, and then my health will be low and I can go for Flail, you know? That'd be really, really cool. Unfortunately, they're going to go for a cover, so now they expected me to attack them. So virtually there's a stalling, right? So Carping is going to get 3 Rock Polishes up here. At last they used Earthquake. I'm like, come on, live this. And I lived it beautifully, because guess what? I've got that Toxic right hitting me, which is going to put me in the maximum range of, flail damage here. Plus, I got a weakness policy as well. So I was like, okay, this is awesome, right? I've got 1 turn. Let's take out this Pleasuratio. I'm not sure how to... Is that French? I'm not sure. Anyway, someone was roasting me in the comments. Flail takes out the Clodside. This is a beautiful, beautiful start to the battle here. I probably shouldn't have got both of those KOs, but I did, so that was wonderful. So, Regirock taking out Grimmsnore, and Carbink taking out Clodstore, right? So, great start to the battle. Bringing in the Goat Tentacruel now. Next Pokemon is going to be Colomalago. Okay, there you go. So, Hydro Pump and Ice Beam, and all of these moves are going to be really, really good against it. I was thinking... Are they just going to go Terra Ground? Is it going to be, is it going to be a defensive one? And it was Terra Steel. So I thought, all right, I'm glad I didn't go for, I was actually almost going to go for Giga Drain and Ice Beam, but I didn't. I went for Hydro Pump, and that was really good. So Great Tusk is going to get the Stealth Rocks off here, which is fine. It's not that bad. And I can go for another Hydro Pump to take it out. There's no way it's going to be able to live another one. The only bad thing here, if I do miss. Now, I could go for Terra Ground. I was really, really thinking about that. I'm like, do I take it out, or do I save my Terra? I was like, I'm going to save my Terra. So Hydro Pump, thank goodness, is going to land. It's going to take the Great Tusk out. So that's half the team down now. Things are going absolutely excellent. But we still have some very, very powerful Pokemon in the back. Next Pokemon is going to be Raging Bolt. So this is perfect. I can just bait the hook here. I've already bait the hook with the, being weak to electric. So I can go Terra Ground and hit it with super, super effective Terra Blast, with the Expert Belt. And I can even go for Ice Beam too. Now, they've already used their Terra, so I know there's not going to be any other Terras and stuff. So I thought, this is perfect. They'll just go for, they're either going to go for Thunderclap, try and clap my cheeks, or they're going to go for, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, something like that. Typically, they're the moves that it does run. So I'm going to be able to outspeed it, which is not much of a surprise. It's not that fast a Pokemon. I figured this would be like a 2-hit KO, and it was. It was around that, and Thunderbolt is not going to work. So that's great. So this is actually putting me in a very, very strong position now. I'm able to take this out. I don't think their last 2 Pokemon are going to want to swap into Tentacruel either. I want to say this Tentacruel is a really good Pokemon. It really is. It's so versatile. It can run special sets, physical sets, bulky sets. It can do tons of really great stuff. I've always thought of it as a great Pokemon. I could go for Terra Blast Ground here and take them out. I'm not going to reveal my other moves at the moment. There's no need. Really. And that is the end of Raging Bolt. So this is going great. But we still have 2 more Pokemon left. And we've got a Koraidon here. So it's like, okay, what am I going to do to this? So Koraidon is going to be an issue because it can go for Collision Course. So all I've got here is Ice Beam, which will do some pretty good damage. But I was like, I don't think I'm living this. They're actually going to go for Flame Charge, which does enormous amounts of damage to me. And they're boosting their speed, basically. But I did have Ice Beam, and that did really, really good damage there. I was very happy with that. And they're going to follow up with a Drain Punch. Crit obviously didn't matter there on Tentacruel. So I've got to get past this Koraidon now, of course. And remember, it's got +1 in attack. It's got +1 in speed there. And it's got access to Drain Punch too, so it can get its health back. So I thought, you know what? We're going to go into the Goat Metagross there. Now, Metagross, I'm going to do a bait and switch here. So I went into Metagross. I was like, what I'll do is I'll swap into it, swap out, and go into Diancie. Let's see if they got Flare Blitz. Let's bait them, right? Let's see what they do. They're going to go for Flame Charge. I'm like, all right, fair enough. I would like to actually get rid of this Sun here because I know that Metagross can probably live a Flame Charge without the Sun. It's got some good base defense, right? So I thought, well, they're going to go for a fighting type move now. I'll go into Dragapult, I'll get around that. So they went for their Drain Punch there. So I'm sort of working around them at the moment here. So then I swapped again. So I was really trying to get rid of this Sun because that obviously, helped out Koraidon's offensive, a lot, right? So getting hit by some more Stealth Rocks, which was a bit of a downside, and they went for Drain Punch this time. So I don't know whether they predicted that, but or they just, just randomly went for a move because they didn't know what I was going to do. But regardless, that was the end of the Artsy. Now, the Sunlight's going to fade, so I thought I'm going to bait the hook again. Hopefully, they'll go for Flame Charge. If they got Flare Blitz, well, I think I'm cooked, right? But I've got Psychic on this too, and I've got Max Speed. So I'm actually going to go for Psychic. They went for Bulk Up. I was like, yes! This is going to hurt them. Like, this Psychic will hurt because it is Stab. And they're probably not expecting, a special set. So Psychic actually takes Koraidon out, completely drops it. So that was really, really good there. Like, Metagross, saved the day. Now, the last Pokemon is going to be Pharaoh Paladin, which is going to be Iron Valiant. So I thought, oh, this is good. I can go for... They've got a Quiet Drive there, which would boost their speed. Not that I was ever worried about speeding that. I've got Steel Beam and I got Psychic. I thought, well, Psychic will take them out, but I want to go for Steel Beam. So I couldn't help it, right? So here comes the Shadow Sneak. I was like, what are they going to really do to me outside of it? Like a Ghost move or something, or a Fighting move. And that does donkeys, and my attack completely annihilates them. And I actually managed to live 2 on 17 health. So that's the end of this, the third battle. And what a great battle that was. That was a strong team. That was a no-joke team too. All right, let's get on to battle number 4 here. Another random one. This is against Stone. And we've got a Hitmonlee lead. A Pickle Hitmonlee. Look at that disgusting color, Now, another thing I'm going to tell you guys as well, if you are wondering, I said we got theme teams all week, coming all week up to ZA. I will be doing a day 1 ZA stream too. So I'll be streaming that the moment it releases and playing, through the campaign if you do want to watch there. So make sure you get that, turn those notifications on and things like that. It's going to be, going to be interesting. As for content, I don't know what I'm going to do for content for ZA. I might just have a look into the battle side of it for a bit. If it's worth doing content on, I will. But if not, I'll probably go back to Scarlet and Violet until, Champions and Gen 10 comes out. But basically, that's what I'm thinking. Or do like a mix of both. All right, so I figured that Hitmonlee would go for a fighting type move or a ghost type move. I actually tried to bait them into a high jump kick, but they went for Endeavor instead. Now we got the Hitmonlee swapping out there. Clearly, they can't hit my Dragapult at all. And we've got the next Pokemon being Ninetales. So Ninetales is clearly going to set up the Veil, or they're just going to attack me with Blizzard or, Moonblast, right? So Hydro Pump does reasonable damage there. I've got Fire Blast, but since I'm not running max speed at all, they were a little bit lucky there because, any other Dragapult would have outsped them there. I can go for Fire Blast and feint them. I would have if they didn't have the Veil up there. Still really good damage. I swapped out my Dragapult now because I smelled an Ice move or a Fairy type move, and I thought, I guess I could go up to Metagross here. This will be good. And then I can go for Meteor Beam. Blizzard is going to land. It's obviously going to do very, very little damage to Metagross. So I've got Meteor Beam, and I thought I'll just go for that. They're probably expecting a Steel-type move like Bullet Punch or Meteor Mash. And we've got the Ursaluna Blood Moon coming in. However, the bad thing for Ursaluna Blood Moon is I'm running a special set. Plus, I've got a move that's going to actually destroy this Pokemon that not many people would probably ever expect to have on Metagross. So I did very little damage there, which is fine, but I've got Grass, and I'm like, this is going to do so much damage. Like, even with a Veil up, this Pokemon is, it's really, really heavy, right? That just completely dropped it. Now, it was a critical hit, but there was no way that was living 2 hits of that. So that was doing tons and tons of damage. Obviously, they were just going for Earth Power, right? Standard set. Hitmonlee's going to come back in here. I thought, well, I guess I could do a swap back into Dragapult if they go for High Jump Kick. And then, they'll keep going and crash and faint themselves. Or they'll go for Endeavor, right, which we've seen earlier on. So here comes the Endeavor here, and yeah, the Hitmonlee is virtually stuck, unless they've got another move, like a coverage move, which I don't think they do at all, because they keep swapping it out. Now, the next Pokemon to come in is going to be Scissor. Like, man, that's an ambitious swap in. I went for Hydro Pump. I mean, they know that I've got Fire Blast as well, so I thought, is this Are they going to Terra here? I thought about it for a second. I thought, well, even if they do Terra, like, what would they really Terra into? Water? That's probably the best one to go for. Then I've still got Thunder, you know, so... You know, so be it, I may even get a burn too. So here comes the Bullet Punch. I take that really well. They'll probably surprised how well I took that because I'm running max health. And they lucked out there on the Fire Blast. So that doesn't really bother me too much because I've got the Blunder Policy. So Blunder Policy is going to increase my speed. Now the Scissor's going to swap out here. Like, okay, what are you going to swap into now? Ninetales, Hitmonlee. And we've got Arcanine coming in here. So it's like, all right, Arcanine, that's cool. This Dragapult is really, really fast now. And it's immune to extreme speed. The Veil's gone. I've got Hydro Pump, which they full well know about. I've got them really pinned down here. In fact, there's nothing they can do here. Dragapult is dominating them, and there's a Salty Rage Quit. And that's another beautiful Salty Rage Quit. Let's hit that like button, people. Let's hit that like button. Drop me a comment below. What other niche ability would you like me to cover? Please check out the playlist too, or just type it in YouTube search. Tell me, I'd like to, and if it's something, you know, I like to do each ability like once, you know, I like to do those sort of things. Or if you'd like to see an older ability team that I've done in the past that I haven't done recently again, please put it below. I'm trying to pick some people out of the comment section as well, and my suggestion rooms, if you guys haven't noticed that. All right, next battle lead, we've got a Grimmsnarl lead, and Grimmsnarl is going to meet the same fate as that Grimmsnarl earlier on in the video. Next Pokemon we got is going to be a Sylveon. We're going to go into Diancie now. So Diancie, I thought, well, I might be able to get Trick Room, and I might be able to get some defensive boosts as well. So I went for Diamond Storm here. I don't know, all the time I use Diamond Storm, I rarely got boost. I just didn't get a lot of boost on the move. I mean, it's a big chance of getting it, but it's also a big chance of not getting it, I guess you could say. Sylveon's going to swap out here, and we got Quavo coming in. So I already know what they're going to try and do here. So I've got the Trick Room going. I was like, well, I guess I could try and get some damage with Body Press, or I could be mean and give them Skill Swap and get rid of Moxie. So, you know, I couldn't help myself. I was like, if I could get a Moxie Diancie under Trick Room, that would be pretty cool. But I was like, I probably don't think I'm going to be able to do that because, you know, they're going to spam Aqua Step. But at least I took away the Quackquavel's tool at boosting its attack. It's obviously still going to be able to boost its speed and stuff, but that was pretty good. I was able to sort of shut it down a little bit there. So go for Body Press, and they've got, wow, they have Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet on Quackquavel, that's interesting. And I feinted myself, so I actually denied them another speed boost, and it's quite funny, I would have denied them a Moxie as well. Then they went for Icy Wind. I'm like, what is this set? Icy Wind and what? Anyway, so going into Carbink, I love how I go in a video like, yo, what is this set? Like when it's like the, you know, the pot and the kettle thing. So we're going to bring in the Carbink now. I thought I'd try and bait them with a nice juicy weakness policy. And they're going to get another speed boost. And I've got the weakness policy here, which is going to be good. Now on this turn, what I did, I thought, I'll actually just go for, I might as well just go for a, I could go for Flail, or I could go for some sort of attacking move here. I could go for Terra Normal Flail. This will be really, really powerful, like super powerful. So I decided to do that. I thought that'd be you know, a fun idea to go for. Now with its current health, I wasn't at complete full base power, but it still was going to be pretty strong, especially with weakness policy and Terra Normal. So go for Flail here on the Quackquavel, and that is going to drop it. Crit obviously didn't matter, and with Rocky Helmet, that actually put me in the, you know, maximum damage range for it, which is really, really good too. So that's 2 Pokemon down. Now I thought if Sylveon comes in, I only have to worry about maybe, I don't know, Quick Attack. If they have it, you never know. So in comes Koraidon. Koraidon I need to get rid of, like right away, right? So I've got Terra Normal, I've got +2 in attack. My EV spread, I don't know if I mentioned that. It was max attack, Adamant Nature, and max speed. So Carbink doesn't have a lot of an in attack at all. And of course, I went for Endure here. So I wanted to get, you know, I wanted to see what move they were going to use. Plus, I wanted to stall out Light Screen if that was going to be useful. So I went for Endure, then I went for Flail on 1 health, and Koraidon just gets rolled out like a Lantern rug by a Carbink. Bro's fingers getting close to the power button, you know what I'm saying? Next Pokemon we got is going to be Sylveon. I was praying for no, like, meme quick attack set, I knew the Flower would take out Sylveon's entire family tree, so I can just gotta go for that again. So go for Flail here. Carping is absolutely sweeping this team. We've got 2 Pokemon left, right? I was in a very, very strong position as well. Next Pokemon is going to be Cerulege. Oh, I've got Stone Edge. Will this have Shadow Sneak? Can't use it anyway because I'm normal. Stone Edge misses and Cerulege is going to take me out with a Bitter Blade. No! Oh, that would have easily have taken it out too, So that is going to be the end of Carping. I was pretty salty there because I would have easily have got that Carping sweep. So we've got 3 Pokemon left. So I'm going to go into Tentacruel here. Now, I know it is sunny, but I thought, well, Hydro Pump's still going to do some good damage here. Should be a 2-hit KO. So unloading on the Cerulege, just under half health. Just under half health. Shadow Claw is going to do over half health here, and the sun's going to fade there. So that was good timing for the sun ending and my Hydro Pump landing. So Cerulege is down, so that was some good stuff there. We've got 1 more Pokemon left here on my opponent's team. And that Pokemon, of course, is going to be Miraidon. So, I want to say this. My Carping would have beaten Miraidon easily with Flail. Now they've got it very easy because I've already used my Terra. I would have used Terra Ground there if I could. But in that stage, I couldn't. So, I've got 2 more Pokemon left. All right, I've got Metagross. Will Metagross even be able to live this? It's very, very doubtful. I've got Meteor Beam and Psychic. 90 versus 102. It's pretty close, right? After I get this, after I get the special attack boost, I should do a little bit more. So I thought, all right, I think they're just going to go Timmy Terra into Electric, but yeah, they did. There wasn't much I could do there, really at all. I need my Carping should have swept this team already, right? I'm so salty about that Stone Edge miss. Anyway, they're going to press the A button with Electro Drift. Taking tons of skill and stuff, and Metagross is going to get wiped there. I've got 1 more Pokemon left on my team, and that Pokemon is Dragapult, but as you know, Dragapult, they've just terrored into an electric type, so I can't use Drake or Meteor for super effective damage. I've got Fire Blast, I got Hydro Pump. I was like, well, I guess I'll just go for a best attacking move I can. They're going to keep going for Electro Drift here. That was max health Dragapult. Look how much that still did. I went for Fire Blast there for a burn, and yeah, there's not much I could do. So that's how it goes sometimes. Unfortunately, my miss on Stone Edge against the Cerulege cost me the battle there. Would have 110% been a Carbing sweep with Flail. You see, if Koraidon went down to it, Miraidon definitely was going down to it. But still, good battle there. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. A bit of a salty finish there for little Carbing. Let's get on to battle number 6. I've got 7 battles in today's video. I got tons of videos coming up for you this week. I got a really, really good one that I thoroughly enjoyed doing. That's coming up on Sunday too. All right, next random battle here. This is a battle against was it Splinter? Speaking of Splinter, has anyone here ever played Splinter Cell before? What it is like a it's like a spy game, right? You go like, try and disrupt people. You do like little objectives and things like that. I don't know. Does anyone play that game? I really like it. I've been hoping for a new game for 1,000 years. And then we get some Netflix series thing instead. If you know, you know, right? Anyway, we got some bacon. We got a bacon lead here. And we got a Meteor. So Metagross actually did really, really well against this team. I don't think they were expecting a special Metagross, to be honest. So Emboar is going to go down there. I wonder if anyone's going to pick Emboar in ZA. I actually haven't even figured out what my starter would be. Next Pokemon's going to be Gothitelle. So this is going to be some sort of trapping shadow tag boosting set like a lot of them are. Looking at my moves, I thought, well, I could unload a Steel Beam here, or I could go for Meteor Beam and do some real solid damage there, and then follow up with like a Psychic or something afterwards. That should be enough, to take it out. Gothitelle's going to go for Hypnosis, and it lands. Metagross is going to go to sleep there. The computer needs a rest. It's like my computer. It's been working, non-stop. So Metagross is sleeping now. Gothitelle is going to set up Calm Mind. It's like, nah, this is not good. This is not good at all. This thing probably is like max. It's probably something like max health and defense, or very bulky. Fortunately, I wake up this turn, and I just went for Steel Beam for damage. I thought I've got nothing to lose. Gothitelle takes the full load, almost faints it, and gets another Calm Mind off there. I don't think they were expecting me to, 1, wake up, and 2, most importantly, do that much damage. Like, that did tons of damage there. Metagross can freely go for a Psychic and just finish it off. You know, it only has a little bit of health, so I don't need to risk any, you know, damage from Steel Beam and anything like that. So Gothitelle was down. Grass Knot wouldn't have fainted. I think Gothitelle is very heavy at all. Next Pokemon we got is Minior. It's the green Minior. I like Minior. It's a really cool Pokemon. I wonder what a Mega Minior would be. I don't know, like maybe a Mega Minior would be all the Miniors together. That'd look really, like it would be a big ball with all the colors. That'd be sick. Anyway, I've got Steel Beam. I really don't want to go for Steel Beam here because I'm actually sweeping this team with Special Metagross, but I thought I have to. I really have to go for that. So Metagross is going to fire another beam, and that's the end of Minior, which is good. So Metagross takes out half the team. I actually quite like Special Metagross. It's quite a good surprise Pokemon. I'm not saying it's like super broken, but it's good. It's good for surprise there. A lot of people don't expect it. Now, we've got Regirock coming in here, and we've got Goodra. This isn't really a good matchup. So I've got Explosion, and I thought, well, yeah, this is a good time for any to go for it to explode, you know what I mean? So we're going to go for that Explosion. It's got Power Whip. Power Whip's not going to do a lot. I am running max health on this. And Regirock's defenses are crazy. I think it's like 200 base defense. So yeah, there was no way Goodra was going to get through that one. So big boom there with a Choice Band, and Goodra is going to faint too. So 4 Pokemon down. I've still got 4 Pokemon myself. This is pretty funny. So we've got Espartha coming in here. Now, Espartha is a dangerous Pokemon in singles. It's really, really powerful. So, if you see one, make sure you faint it right away or deal with it, because if it gets too many Calm Minds and speed boosts up, you're going to get swept by Stored Power every time, right? So I'm assuming it's probably just going to be the standard set, you know, with Stored Power, speed boost, Calm Mind, possibly Dazzling Gleam, something like that, and, you know, maybe Terra Fairy. That's usually what it is. So I was contemplating this for a long while. So do I go Trick Room and then start spamming Diamond Storm? Or do I get rid of its speed boost, right? I thought that'd be really funny. So we've got the Espartha going for Calm Mind, right? Which is really, really good. The thing that sets Espartha out from other Stored Power users is speed boost, right? Because that makes it go first. A lot of other Pokemon can use Calm Mind as Stored Power, but pretty much all of them don't have speed boost to go with it, and, you know, to increase the speed and to increase the base power of Stored Power. So I thought that would actually kind of cripple Espartha getting rid of its speed boost, right? So they've got 2 Calm Minds up now, which, you know, isn't to be messed around with. I'm going to go for Diamond Storm for some damage here. Really good damage, but they're clearly running max defense, which, you know, Espartha always does on these sets. So I thought, all right, well, I've got Skill Swap, I've got Trick Room. I was going to disrespect Skill Swap them back, but I thought I better not do that. I'm gonna get swept if I play around. I like to, if you guys know this, right, I like to play with my food sometimes, right? So we're going to go for Diamond Storm. Good damage there. We got the Espartha going for a Roost. So Roost is a great move on Espartha. You know, it allows it to heal off and stuff like that too. And get around other priority moves, say, like Sucker Punch and stuff. So at this stage, like, all right, I could set up the Trick Room here, and I could go for Diamond Storm. Like, you know, what's my play? Or do I go for Terra Rock and just eliminate it right now? That could be a good idea too. But if I go for this, I hope that it doesn't go for Stored Power and one-shot me. I mean, it does have a lot of bulk. Like, Deontay's got a lot of bulk. It's got 150 base. The thing about Deontay is its health's not good. It's only got 50 base and health, right? So I'm going to go for Diamond Storm here with the Terra Rock. And this is going to hit really hard, almost taking out. Very, very close. Here comes the Roost again from the Espartha. But, you know, as you can see, with the, you know, without the speed boost, I've now got the speed boost, thanks to that Espartha. I can, you know, easily get around this. So we've got a speed boost Deontay with Diamond Storm, only on PIMPNITE channel. Let's get some likes. That is the end of Espartha, so that worked out beautifully there. Getting around a, you know, very, very powerful Pokemon. Now, we got one more Pokemon left here on my opponent's team, which is Scarlet. So I thought, oh, well, I've got Body Press here. I don't think I ever got any defensive boosts at all. I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. So I'm guessing they probably had this Terra Grass, which most of these, mostly Terra Grass. You can see it have Terra Fairy and stuff. I've seen it run Terra Ice a couple of times for triple axle, but most of the time I have those. So I went for body press, great damage there. Here comes the flower trick. I thought, well, this will hurt. Definitely, it's going to definitely take me out. There's not much I can do there. And that's going to be the end of Diancie. But Diancie did a solid job there getting rid of Esparta. Like, completely shut it down almost. Now, I've got 3 more Pokeball left. Like, oh, God, the Dragapult. Dragapult can pretty much live everything, even a knockoff, a Sucker Punch, should be able to live that. And I've got Fire Blast. So here comes Play Rough. Play Rough did lots of damage there. Fire Blast can feint it. That's why, Play Rough is, Terra Fairy is quite good on him, our Scarlet as well. Sometimes I think it's better than Terra Grass and Flower Trick. Anyway, that is the end of the 6th battle there. How cool is that, Diancie? Let's get on to the final battle, battle number 7 here. This is a random battle against Cody. Oh, we're on the beach this time. All right, Terrapagus is the first Pokemon we got in. We got Regirock. All right, Regirock against Terrapagus. So a lot of the time I would go Boom first turn, but in this situation I was like, I'm going to go Drain Punch, right? Because Drain Punch is going to be very good against this Pokemon. Now, unfortunately for me, Terrapagus does have Aura Sphere. I was a little bit worried about Earth Power, but it had Aura Sphere instead. Almost same thing there. I broke its ability. Now, the next Drain Punch will do a lot, and it will heal me for a lot more. I think my opponent will be inclined to stay in as well, right? Because that's a 3-hit KO. Maybe 4 after this one. So going for Drain Punch, incredible damage there. So Regirock does big damage, and that's a fat amount of heal as well. So I can essentially live another one, but I was like, nah, I don't want to let Regirock take any more damage. I might lead it for an explosion later on. So going to Dragapult, I figured that Aura Sphere again, so a nice, easy, free swap in. So I thought at this stage, I can go for Fire Blast, feint them, or I could try and deliberately go for something like Thunder and get my Blunder policy up. Terrapagus is going to slide out of this matchup. And we've got the Rayquaza coming in. So that was a bit of a risky swap in there, because I could have easily have gone for a Dragon move. Let's be real, right? So for Hydro Pump, and Hydro Pump misses. So all right, that's cool. I guess I can go for Drake or Meteor here. Rayquaza can't go for Extreme Speed. They may Terra for Steel, or they may just stay and attack me. So I went for Drake or Meteor, and that dropped Rayquaza. So that's good. That's a good start. The only bad thing is now with this set is I've used Draco Meteor, so I've got a -2 in special attack. Now they've got their Kyurem here, so it's like, yeah, I won't be able to one-shot this. Unless I get a critical hit, right? That's going to be the only way to feint this. And this has definitely got an Ice move coming, or a Dragon move coming my way, right? I was actually a little bit curious to see whether I can live this with max health. So Draco Meteor, good damage, half health on Kyurem White. Here comes the Ice Beam, and yeah, that's not going to cure him. Get it? Cure him, Kyurem, cure him. Anyway, so that's the end of my Dragapult. I tried. Now, next Pokemon is Diancie. So I thought, well, what are you really going to do to Diancie other than a ground-type move? Now, I've got Diamond Storm, I've got Body Press. They're going to keep going for Ice Beam. That could have been choice specs, I'm not sure, but, Diamond Storm is going to take out the Kyurem, which is good. I was hoping for a defensive boost for Body Press, but of course, it never happened. Now, I can deal with Terrapagus easily, but we've got Arceus. What's this Arceus? I'm trying to think what this Arceus is. Arceus Fire? Some of the Arceus forms can be interesting. Is this... Wait. I went for... That's fighting. That's Arceus. Why is it using Hydro? Anyway, so it's got Hydro Pump. I believe that's Arceus fighting. Correct me if I'm wrong there. I'm sure that it's Arceus fighting, because fire's like a lighter red color. So going into Regirock, I don't know. I think they had Adamant Nature, but Regirock managed to live that one and get an explosion off here. Explosion with a choice band is going to hit really hard, and that actually takes out the Arceus, which is really cool there. So that's nice. So Arceus fighting. It has to be Arceus fighting. Yeah, it is. It's Arceus fighting. I'm sure that it is. Or unless it's ground. No, I don't think that it's ground. Anyway, next Pokemon is going to be Carbink. So Carbink versus Terrapagus. I thought, gee, this would be great if he uses Earth Power, or something like that. Like, I could go for Rock Polish, get hit by the Earth Power, activate Weakness Policy, and press A on Flail, right? That was the idea. So we've got a Timmy Terra here on the Terrapagus. Interesting enough, they did it on kind of a low amount of health, too. It surprised me a little bit. I didn't think they'd actually do that. Anyway, here comes the Terra Starstorm. So, to my disappointment, I thought they'd use a coverage move, but they didn't. That's going to do just almost about half my health. So I managed to get Rock Polish up. I thought, well, it's not the, it's not, I didn't get a Weakness Policy, which kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world here because I can go for Endure, and then I can go for Flail, and then, Flail's going to be at full base power, but... this Pokemon's got a lot of health, and I didn't get a Weakness Policy. I'm not Terra Normal. I don't know how well it's going to do. So I thought, all right, let's go for it. Will it take it out? I was like, I doubt it. And it didn't. Its attack just simply wasn't good enough. It needed Weakness Policy to do something. So another Terra Starstorm, and that's the end of our carving. So I've got 2 Pokemon left, but I'm confident I can get myself back into the game. I've got the special Metagross, and I've got Tentacruel, right? They were pretty much the goats of my team. So Metagross has decided to float at the moment. And I've got Meteor Beam. I thought this is a great opportunity to go for Meteor Beam to give myself a special attack boost there so I can use like +1 Psychic and things like that. So go for Meteor Beam, and Terrapagus is going to get dropped, so that's good. I also know that obviously they can't Terra anymore, so there won't be any type matchup change, surprises or anything like that. Now, the 5th Pokemon on my opponent's side of the field is going to be Miraidon. So I thought, yes, this is going to be difficult. Now, I do have Tentacruel with Terra Ground, but I thought, well, I'm not going to swap into it. Metagross really needs to get some damage here. I did think about going Terra Rock. I was like, there's no point. They're just going to go for a little Timmy Electro Drift, right? So here comes the Electro Drift on Metagross. I'm like, yeah, I probably won't live it. I lived on 4. It must have been mega minimum damage. Metagross actually gets Psychic off there. Really good damage there, like half its health. I'm like, great. This is good because they've got Parabolic Charge, which is a bit of a pain because they heal themselves. So Tentacruel should be able to go for Terra Ground and then go for Terra Blast Ground with the Expert Belt, and that'll be enough to take out Miraidon, right? That's great. So we got that Tentacruel. We're ready to go. I like Tentacruel Shiny. Looks good. I think I like Tentacool Shiny a little bit better, like the silver one. I kind of wish they did that on Tentacruel. I wonder if we ever will get a Mega Tentacruel one day. Man, that'd be such a strong Pokemon, like, because Tentacruel's quite good itself. So go for Mega Tentacruel. I mean, Terra Ground Tentacruel. And we're going to get hit by an electric move. That's not going to do anything. And Terra Blast, as I mentioned, will be able to take it out. That Expert Belt did help a lot, right? Like, Expert Belt boosts super effective moves by 1.2. So it's just a little boost, right? But it's best on Pokemon that have got like huge coverage in their move pool. Last Pokemon, of course, is Koraidon. So like, yeah, I'm going to need the fattest Ice Beam that ever existed in the world here. So here we go. We got Ice Beam. I'm ready to go here. They use Giga Impact. I'm like, oh no, that is easily going to take me. Oh, that's the end of the battle there. It is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this. The Clear Body team was pretty fun, actually. I'll catch you tomorrow and onwards for some more Theme Team videos. All up to ZA. Peace out, everyone.